Hello everybody, how's it going? It's Eamon here. Hope you're all keeping well out there. It's Thursday the 13th to the 5th, 2021, and we're going to be back in TML's The Bus. That's right guys, TML's The Bus has been updated to version 1.2 and it was updated on the 5th of May, so it's now the 13th of May, so I'm a little bit late with this kind of updated video due to myself being quite ill and unable to drive. I'll explain more in my video about that. So update 1.2 is basically it's like the second update since the release of the beta, so we're going to have a look and see what's changed. We're just going to get some weather sorted here first before we go into control mode, realistic, Scania, realistic, dynamic, and start. Yeah, so a lot of things happened in this update. They'd updated the lighting system, which is fantastic because the lighting system was a bit off. The passengers now walk to the correct seats. They disembark from the seats and walk to the exit doors instead of teleporting, which is better because who wants teleporting, you know? Nobody does, I don't think. So it's good for that reason. The bus TXL, the time of travelling between stops is updated. They fixed the bug in the German license plate. The in-game editor deleting stops and lines now correctly updates all routes. Still don't know much about the editor. I'll have to sit and look at it properly and try and get a good view of it. I'm hoping to see if there's a few videos online, and I haven't actually looked yet. Now I did set up a route, but what happened was I couldn't get a timetable, like a tour, you know, so I have to look at that and see if I can do it properly. The weather templates have been updated. Additional aspect ratios, fixed some physics, fixed some shader errors. They updated the reporting tool, the retarder now fades out correctly, updated the camera distance when using photo mode, incorrectly reported conflicts between the key assignments have been fixed. The weather templates for dynamic weather now load correctly from a save game data. The updated positions of the roof hatches, and I will leave it all, the rest of it down below because I don't want to be boring us with all this with all these updates. I will put the updates in the description and you can have a look at them. So yeah, let's now. Okay guys, let's get going. So what's happening is we are taking over from Jerry, who has just gone up the road there because he was there I think in the shorts. He was just finishing his shift. Hello Eamon. And we've just taken over now to basically take over at the Hofbahnhof and work our way down to Alexanderplatz. So we're going to be leaving at 5:36 AM. So we'll just get this bus started and ready to go. Now, oh yeah. Now let's see. We zoom in here. I really like that you can zoom now. You know, you can actually work your way around the cab, zoom in, right click and actually turn on buttons, which is good, you know, where before in the first beta you couldn't, in the first update you couldn't, which this makes a lot more sense, you know. You could do that in Firmware, so it's good that you could do it. Now, TXL, the Hofbahnhof. There's Ronaldo. So we're leaving at 5:36. Okay, so another thing you can do is just advanced time-lapse waiting time. So your time will actually be then a minute before you leave. So more people may come or spawn in, but they don't. Look at that sun. Wow, so bright. So it is so shiny. Isn't it? So shiny. It's like a sunset. Let's see. So maybe hit window G. I like it. Yep, let's see, navigation back. Okay, so we're ready to go now, I think. Okay, in gear. Let's go. Now, so guys, yeah, so in relation to me and kind of not being driving much or anything like that, it's because I was quite sick there the last couple of weeks. I had a thing what's called I don't know, well, I don't know if it is this, but I got a really big swelling in my foot and then my big toe. You know, my toe and my foot was all red. It was kind of ballooned up, and it wasn't good. You know, it was a really bad kind of flare up. You know, so I kind of walked on it and kind of hoped that it would go away. You know, and it never went away. So it just kind of got worse. So what I did was I made an appointment with the doctor because I couldn't walk. You know, I was trying to. The only walking I was doing really was bringing my kids to school, and that was it. I wasn't doing anything else. You know, so I wanted to go to the doctor to see if what was wrong. You know, so I was kind of googling it. You know, like swollen big toe or swollen foot. You know, big toe red and it flared up. You know. So it turned out that I could have gout. Now gout is a form of arthritis that you usually get when you have too much uric acid in your body. So and it kind of comes from a rich diet. Now a rich diet as in the sun here, look. The rich diet as in drinking lots of alcohol, eating lots of meat, you know, just foods with high levels of uric acid in them. So I said to my doctor, I said, I don't drink, I don't eat meat. I said I'm on a plant-based diet, so I can't. I've never heard of it before, you know, of people on plant-based diets. So I never heard of them having gout. You know, I always thought they were healthy and everything else. Now at this moment, I didn't know whether it was gout. The doctor just gave me anti-inflammatories to get the foot down, but I couldn't walk on it. You know, it was so painful. I've never had a pain like it. I've broken arms and legs, you know, and it was sore. But this pain, this constant, like even if you tapped your toe or something, like even like touched it with like your finger, you were in agony. You know, it was really, really sore. So I ended up taking the week off work, and therefore I ended up then kind of just relaxing the foot really, and kind of keeping it elevated and not putting much pressure on it and everything else, you know. So a bit annoying because like I'm 35, you know, and this time last month I was running around in the park playing football and just doing everything else, and at the moment now it's a good 3 weeks now, like to this day, and it's still quite sore, you know, still painful. Now the swelling has gone down and everything else, but I couldn't drive it obviously, so I couldn't really do much, you know. So sorry, I'm just gonna give this guy his ticket. Single, maybe. So I don't know if any of us ever heard of gout before, but it's not good, you know. So anyway, look, long story short, I got blood tests done. I got blood tests done last Monday. Yeah, Monday just gone, so it's the 13th now. I got them done on the 10th or something. And I'm just hoping hope for the results to come back and see if everything is okay. You know, I believe in myself that there's an unbalance somewhere within my diet that's causing this, or my kidneys are not working properly to get rid of the uric acid, you know. So yeah. See, if there's something you just probably don't know about me, I suffer quite a lot with anxiety. I have a thing called anticipation anxiety. So what means is I anticipate something. So if I have a plan, and say I have a plan to go to play football tomorrow, you know, it's a plan about going somewhere, then I'll get anxious anticipating going there, you know. But once I'm there, I'm okay, you know. So there's little things that have cropped up in my head since, like, sorry, I just stopped talking when the door's open because it's easier to hear me, you know. I just yeah, I anticipate something and I get nervous for that something. It could be anything, you know. It could be going to the shop. It could be just leaving something, you know, or leaving my house to go somewhere that I'm not kind of going. Anyway, look, that's something totally different, but it all kind of might all add up so there's an imbalance somewhere within me, you know. It could be the fact that I'm on a plant-based diet that has me like this, you know, that has the foot the way it is. So I don't know what it is. Anyway, so today, the 13th of the 5th, my foot is a little bit better. It's my left foot, so I don't use it driving obviously, which is fine. But I can't have it kind of down when I'm sitting at a desk, you know. So that's why I can't have it when I'm in work. When I'm driving, it's hard. When I'm sitting down at the desk and work, it's hard. When I'm standing up and work, it's hard. So, you know, I spoke to my friend from Slovenia, and he was off work for a week or for a month with it. So I can't picture myself ever being off work for a month with it. In the hope, well, I hope I don't be, you know. But then you're reading stuff saying the first place that attacks is the toe, then the next place that attacks is the elbows or the hands or the knees, you know, and I'm thinking, Christ, is this all ahead of me? You know, so yeah, so it wasn't in a good way at all, guys. So that's why the kind of, that's the backstory to coming up to the point I'm needing to know. Hey, the tenor, price 3. Zoom in here for this one. 2, 4, 6, 7. So So the point I'm trying to make is that I haven't really been keeping up to date with what's happening within the bus, within OMSI or anything else like that. I've just been kind of focusing on trying to get better. So that's why I'm late with this kind of update, you know. So yeah, so hopefully I'll be better soon. I feel better the last few days, so hopefully it'll be alright. So as I said, the gout is in my left foot, but my right foot is not too good either. It's not gout, it's more of a metatarsal strain or something. And I haven't gone to the doctor about that just yet, but I will eventually, when I can afford it. But it's €65 per visit to the doctor. On top of that, you have to pay for your prescription as well, so it's just a bit expensive, you know. You don't want to be throwing €120 at a doctor each month, you know. So, and I don't want to be on tablets either every month, every day, so yeah, that's been my story, you know, and hopefully I'll have better news when it comes again, you know. Well, when blood test results come, sorry, yeah. So in terms of the bus overall, I would hope that going forward, now I haven't looked at any of I know they have a list of phases that they're going through with the betas and the early access. I would really like them to have more AI, well not more, but more variety of AI traffic, so AI buses, I would like maybe people on bikes if it's possible, motorbikes, and even maybe people in buggies. I don't know if you can get people in buggies or not, you know, because if you had people in buggies it'd be really cool, you know, like I'm sure, is it doable, I wonder, can you actually do it? Like, is it possible to actually bring people into the game that are wheeling buggies and people in wheelchairs, you know, motorbikes, and I'm sure motorbikes are on the road, should be okay, because it's a model, you know, as in you can just make it. It's like they've made these models here. I'm sure these have been imported from Fairbus or Tourist Bus, but you know, it could be a good idea, could make sense, you know, to have that. There's more variety, more sounds around the city, more maybe birds in the sky, you know, or a gang sitting on the side, standing at the corner of the street, you know, playing a ghetto blaster or something. Just something more to look at, you know, that you think, oh, that's different, you know, or that's new, you know, something that you kind of haven't seen before. And with the bus, I'm sure that this is TML's baby, that they could maybe do this, you know, this could happen, you know, but I don't know. It's hard to say if it will or not. But yeah, I think going forward that would be nice, you know. But you all know me. You know my favourite bus in Berlin. You know it's a DL05, and my favourite bus in OMSI is a DL05. No matter what happens in any map that comes out in OMSI, I am trying to drive a DL05 on it, even if it is even if it is too big at times. Collisions off. You know, I just like the challenge of driving a DL05, and the only place I've driven a DL05 that's not in OMSI was in Lotus, and it was Lotus is Lotus, you know. It's not even half finished, you know. It's one of these games where you paid a lot of money for. I think I put like €80 into it, and it's the same. It's the same game it was like 3 years ago. So, you know, they brought out the Streets of Lotus and the DL was there, but there's nothing. There's no there's good Empires, look. There's no there's no progress being made on the bus side of things, on the street side of things. So I'm like, what's the point? You know, what's the point in buying it? You know, so or playing it. You know, I did install it recently, but it's no fun or enjoying it. It's just pretty bad. You know, so maybe going forward it might get better. But anyway, the moral of the story is that's the only place I've driven a DL. So I'd like to drive a DL in this game. Now I know they're having the Line City double decker, so hopefully it's a man Line City double decker. I presume it is. It's a man Line City. So I would really like to drive that. You know, I think it'd be awesome to drive. You know. I always just sometimes feel as though, like, with these games, like these bus simulator games, like the bus, Fair Bus, Tourist Bus, Bus Simulators 17 or 18 or 20, there's something missing from them, you know, that makes it feel more like a simulator. You know, like with OMSI, I feel it's more simulator. You know, physics in OMSI are really good, graphics not so great, but it's still really more simulation. You know, whereas with these games, I just feel as though it's not so much simulation and more kind of arcadey, you know, mainstream gamey. You know, I don't know. Just for me, like, driving this now is like, it's good, but it just doesn't have that OMSI feel, or not. I wouldn't even say it's an OMSI feel, because you're not really looking for an OMSI feel, or are you looking for an OMSI feel? You know, that would be the question actually. Are you looking for the same kind of feeling as you get in them? Probably you are, yeah. So it's yeah, you know, I just think they always just miss the beat on these kind of games, you know. So I'm hoping that going forward it'll be a little bit better, there'll be more of an atmosphere, and it would just kind of work better for us, you know. Yeah. So yeah, so hopefully that feeling will come, but I don't know, you know, I'm not sure. I just hope more, like, passengers need to talk. That's a big thing, you know. Passengers talking is a big thing, you know, because I feel when passengers are not talking in OMSI, it feels a little bit boring, and it's kind of like, am I even picking up passengers, you know, that kind of way. So if passengers are not talking within this game, then it'll be a bit silly, you know. At least with OMSI, they feel as though they're actually talking. I know they're just voices, but it just feels a bit more realistic, you know, where if they're not talking, just getting on, like, it just doesn't feel the same, you know, the same kind of realism. So hopefully passengers talking is on the list. I presume it is on the list because it's realistic, so it's just looking forward to getting them into the game, you know, a bit more more atmosphere and a bit more realism, you know. So we shall see. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, you know. So let's see. Number 1, AI vehicles. Number 2, a man-line city double-decker, as in a DL. And number 3, we would like some motorbikes in the AI traffic, some buggies, some bicycles, some more atmosphere around the city, as in a bit more ambient sounds and stuff like that. Can't really hear much when you're inside the bus, which is probably realistic, but I don't know. You know, fix the lighting as well. The lighting it's okay, but it's not the best lighting in the world, you know. Yeah, so let's see what happens, you know. So this is the first time I've been playing it with my new PC, so it's a lot smoother than my old PC, thankfully. Colouring is still a bit off, but everything is on Epic, so I don't know what the problem is, you know. I guess it's like that on everybody's. Probably lower a little bit the gamma or something. Like, see the way the trees are just kind of coming into view is just a bit different looking. Hey mister, you came up fairly quick there, so you did. Now, next stop folks is the final stop, Alexanderplatz. Please leave all your luggage here. Oh sorry, please take all your luggage with you, all your rubbish with you and everything else. Leave the bus clean, leave the bus the way you got on it. Thank you very much for travelling with us today, and we'll see you again soon. Enjoy your trip. Okay guys, that was it. That was Line TXL. Just took over from Jerry on from the half ban off to here. Hopefully you enjoyed this one guys, and I will see you again in the next video. Maybe the next video will be the next Fairbus update maybe, you know, because there's not much to show, more to show at the moment, so yeah, we shall see how it goes. Alright guys, thank you as always, appreciate it, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye bye.